looked at King Kong, and we looked at Gollum, and we looked at Star Wars. And it was important that we use that as a springboard for this movie. Our movie was different because, A, it's a superhero movie. B, we had to pay homage to some of the original material in terms of look and feel. It was going to be a little bit of a darker movie than the first one in terms of content. It was important that we gave a laundry list of skin tone ideas that we wanted, something that felt very visceral, something that was a good stepping off point for Rhythm and Hughes to jump in with us. And Aaron Sims, our character designer, and really begin building that in a way that can jump off the screen.
Hulk is a little bit more human, at least as we approached him as a human. Even though he is a superhero and a monster, we really wanted to make him feel as human as possible so that you really feel Edward Norton and the acting within him. And as wonderful as those other characters were, I don't think they were quite as human.
From the production and partnering with Rhythm and Hughes, we had Aaron designing in 3D, and we chose purposefully not to make a maquette because it can misguide you. And we had a lot of proportion studies we needed to do. So we went on a parallel development path in terms of final, look development that eventually had to lead into the shaders that they wrote and the actual physical feel of the CG characters.
We work very closely with Aaron, and one of the great things about working with him is he does actually work in a 3D program, so he can hand us a model. So we really know how it's going to work in 3 dimensions. It's a lot of times when you're developing characters, you can have a beautiful drawing, but as soon as you put it into 3 dimensions and it starts moving around, it doesn't quite work. I think a lot of the muscle development and the ability to change sizes and flex and relax, I think a lot of that we haven't seen in anywhere near the detail.
Yeah, and just the sheer amount of physical integration into our scenes, such as the rolling fight, for instance, in the end, where we basically roll through 4 giant locations from production, and it all has to be integrated. There's hundreds of different lighting setups throughout that whole scene. And in that sense, to have CG actors that active is unique, and I'm not sure we've seen a fight like that on film. I mean, we had 9 months of intensive development.
And probably
hundreds of iterations by the time we were done, both in proportions and look development.
The size of the crew who just worked on that is probably about 20 people.
Yeah, it was a core crew that we partnered with very early on, as well as Aaron. And our goal with that was to get through all of those hundreds of iterations prior to going to camera. So everybody, including the director, the DP, everybody knew what the character looked like, how they moved, and how we wanted to represent them on film. It's important because you have to like the scene for